So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. Hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, I wanted to update you. Demetrius Andrade is fighting Zach Parker next in a fight which is gonna, I think the winner of that fight is gonna be the mandatory for Canelo Alvarez. I don't understand this. I'll tell you why. Because I thought if you were a WBO champion and you move up, you automatically get made mandatory for the champion's belt. I don't know what's going off here. I don't know what's going off in the sense that Canelo's chosen his next two fights. Firstly, let's talk about Andrade and Zach Parker. Look, this is going to be seen as a cherry pick. This is going to be seen as a fight which, you know, Andrade, a lot of people don't want to see, and I think Andrade is going to win quite comfortably. I think Zach Parker's a good fighter. But Andrade is on another level to Zach Parker, and I expect Andrade to beat Zach Parker quite comfortably. Andrade's career, it's been like this, you know, he's been fighting guys of a level. I've not been excited for an Andrade fight. I don't know. I've never been excited for an Andrade fight because it's just, unfortunately, he's not getting the top guys. And it's sad for a guy that as talented as Andrade that he can't get in the ring with anyone. And it seems to me that he's spent most of his boxing career, especially for the last couple years, chasing one man. And look, he's tried to get the Charlo fight and that's not happened. And look, I think it's time for Andrade now to make these big fights. You know, time's ticking for him. He's not getting any younger, he's getting older. And I do worry that Andrade might leave this sport not fighting one top name, one elite fighter, if it carries on going this way. I think this is a fight which he'll win pretty comfortably. I don't see Zach Parker being much of a threat to him. I think he'll beat Zach Parker pretty comfortably. But then the next fight has to be something substantial. The next fight has to be something, you know, that fans look forward to. Like, the fans want to see Andrade tested. And I think when Andrade, hopefully he gets a big fight with somebody with a big name, the fans will probably be excited to see Demetrius Andrade. And I think when he finally does get a Benavidez, a Charlo, a Plant, or someone of that level, the fans are going to be so excited. I think there's going to be so many boxing fans actually tuning in to watch Demetrius Andrade because of the fact that his whole career has been just fighting, you know, lower level guys. And it's been so frustrating for the fight fans. So when he does eventually get that big fight, a lot of people are going to be tuning in to see him fight against, you know, an upper echelon guy. You know, it's been must be very, very frustrating for Andrade fans to see him not getting these fights. And look, Christian is somebody that's a massive Andrade fan, and he's come on my channel and he's, you know, made a case. But even Christian must be frustrated that Andrade can't get these top echelon guys. Like, you can make excuses all you want, and at the end of the day, you know, his legacy, his resume is very weak, and he needs to get a move on. Now, I don't understand this Zach Parker fight, because Canelo's in control of his own destiny. So just because you become mandatory doesn't mean that you're going to get a Canelo Alvarez fight. And Andrade should know that from previous weight classes. Now, why did Andrade need to take the Zach Parker fight when he could have gone straight into a fight with Benavidez, straight into a fight with maybe Plant or someone like that? Or, you know, because Benavidez already said that he's interested in fighting Demetrius Andrade. So maybe, you know, Andrade could have waited, but maybe Andrade doesn't want to wait around. Maybe Andrade wants to stay active and he wants to fight on. So I just want to see Andrade in there with top tier guys. I want to see Andrade fight somebody of some kind of level. And I personally think the fight with him and David Benavidez is a great fight. I think both guys are pretty avoided fighters. I think people look at them as high risk, low reward kind of fighters, and I think them fighting each other could definitely make for a great fight, for a good fight. And I think it's stylistically a very good fight. You got a pressure fighter who's got fast hands against a guy that likes to move, and a slick fighter like Andrade. So that makes it a very compelling and a great watch. I'll be tuning in if they can make that fight. Eddie Hearn has already openly said that, Benavidez is interested. Benavidez has said he's interested. Andrade has said he's interested. So let's make this fight happen. It's a great fight. It's a good fight for the fight fans. And this is why I think the Zach Parker's fight is not important, not necessary, because I think if he fights a Benavidez, beats a Benavidez, I think Andrade will be in a position for a world title shot anyway. But this obviously guarantees a world title shot. Now, the next thing is going to be what Canelo Alvarez decides to do. Because for me, I would like to see Canelo Alvarez, if he's going to after Golovkin move up to 175, I'd like to see Canelo vacate, because then he's holding up the division. If he's going to come back down and he's going to fight at 168, and he's going to look to defend his belts at 168, then I personally would definitely like to see him fight Andrade, like to see him fight Charlo, Benavidez, all those guys, if he comes back down to 168. But if he is going to move up to 175, then I would like to see him vacate. So then it frees up the belt. So then these guys can fight one another. And we can see who the best is out of the bunch. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But yeah, I think Canelo at the minute has got all the belts. And he's going to probably fight Golovkin for all the belts. So that's going to be interesting. And then what's going to happen after the Golovkin fight? What's Canelo going to decide to do after the Golovkin fight? Is he going to then vacate and move up? It wouldn't surprise me after the Golovkin fight, he moves up and fights Makabu, then comes back and vacates before the Makabu fight, and then lets these guys fight each other, and then moves back down to 175 to look to clean up there, if he's able to beat Bivol, of course, in May. So I'm actually looking forward to how this all plays out, because it's going to be quite interesting. Am I excited about Demetrius Andrade and Zach Parker? Not really, to be honest with you. But look, I've watched Andrade quite a bit recently, and I do like him as a fighter. I think he's quite skillful. He's not the most exciting, but he's a skilled fighter. His fight against Quigley, he looked good in that fight. Yeah, I know Quigley's not a top tier guy, and you guys are going to remind me of that. But I think Andrade looked exciting. He looked good to watch in that fight. Andrade just needs to, for me, just every time he gets it in the ring is look good, and keep raising his stock, keep getting the fans pushing for a fight with Canelo. And most importantly, he needs to get in there with a Benavidez, a Charlo, a Plant. If Andrade goes in there with one of those names that I've just mentioned and puts in a dominating performance, then the fans are going to start calling out for the Canelo fight. But if he keeps fighting these lower level guys, keeps fighting these lesser guys, then nobody's going to be really calling, because people are saying, who's Andrade for? He's fought nobody. So people want to see Andrade fight. And then the pressure, see, a lot of his fans say, well, who did Rocky Fielding? It's not about that. It's about the fact that nobody wanted to see Canelo fight Rocky Fielding. The point I'm trying to make is, if Andrade wants to put pressure on Canelo, at the end of the day, Andrade needs to put himself in a position, if he feels that Canelo is avoiding him and his fans feel that Canelo is avoiding him, then Andrade needs to put himself in a position where it becomes public demand for that fight to happen. There's no public demand for Andrade to fight Canelo. There's no demand at all, actually. Canelo Andrade is no bigger than Canelo Bivol. Canelo Andrade is no bigger than, Charlo's a bigger fight. But if Andrade puts himself in a position where he beats up Benavidez, he beats up Charlo, he beats up, Caleb Plant, then all of a sudden, Andrade will be putting himself in a position where boxing fans may start demanding Canelo to fight, Canelo Alvarez to fight Andrade. Just like the boxing fans started demanding Mayweather to fight Pacquiao, because they viewed Pacquiao as a threat to Mayweather, right? At this particular time, apart from Andrade's hardcore fans, not many people think that Andrade beats Canelo. Nobody's really that impressed by Andrade or what he's done of late. So nobody's really calling for that fight. Nobody's really that interested. But if Andrade goes in there and puts in stellar performances, then the demand for the Canelo fight will be there. The demand for Andrade and Canelo will grow. So at the end of the day, Demetrius Andrade needs to look to fight these top guys. And that's the way he can force a Canelo fight. Otherwise, I don't think he. Otherwise, if he keeps doing what he's doing, I don't think there's going to be any demand. There's no public demand. But yeah, Demetrius Andrade v Zach Parker, pretty foregone. Like I think Andrade wins pretty comfortably. To be honest, I think Andrade's a better fighter. I think he's very skillful, and I think it's a pretty comfortable win as far as I'm concerned. I think Andrade will get the job done within the distance, most likely. But yeah, are you guys excited for this fight? What do you make of Andrade and Zach Parker? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think. And guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.